So hey you awesome people out there, this is your Rohit and I'm back again with another video on this channel. So today I'm having Tarun. He is one of my good friends which I have met over here in this meetup which I am here for in Jaipur. And the interesting thing is about he reads a lot of books on self-development and so much. I mean I was just thinking before this week recording this video कि introduce कैसे करना है. I'm like, this is the best way because he's been an avid reader. So I guess why not to invite him and share his wisdom, share his knowledge on so many common questions जो कि मुझे मिलते हैं, right? So I think this is a short invitation or short introduction that I gave for Tarun. So I'd like him to speak about on a smaller note, not a longer note, but yeah, let's go ahead. So Tarun, over to you.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you so much for inviting me for this conversation. First of all, guys, he praises too much. I'm not an advent reader, but yeah, just a couple of books I have read, and he got me up today. Since we are sharing our room together, he said, no, you have to be on my this podcast today, where he wants to ask me certain questions. I don't know what he's gonna fire with me, but I'm on. Thank you.
Awesome. So Tarun, firstly, tell me about your journey. How you started? Because I'm sure you are into IT, right? You have your own job, own things, own life. But again, at the same time, you also have this association with spiritual things. So how do you manage this thing? Because how you get into these things? Because again, as I said, managing all these things is kind of really difficult in this day and age. जहाँ पे सिर्फ काम ही काम हम देखते हैं चारों तरफ. So how do you manage that? And how do you get started?
Yeah, I would say, Rohit, it's a kind of divided into pre-COVID and post-COVID stage.
Mm-hmm.
So pre-COVID, I was the one who is, all hard work and no play, and trying to be the best employee an organization can have, contributing to the as much as possible I can.
Mm-hmm.
But in the first wave when I got COVID and I was 14 days in isolation, I was just, one thought came up to mind: am I going to die this way? And I realized I did only for my work, everything, nothing for the society, and very less for my family and friends, and last, nothing for myself. So that was kind of a wake-up call for me. By the grace of God, I was spared, and after that I decided, no, let's do something which is meaningful, which I find meaning in that and fulfillment. So I just came across few books, and two of the books I think one must read in his entire lifetime. One is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by Lord Krishna himself. So guys, it's God speaking to you, it's nobody else, So it was the kind of the ultimate enlightenment I received after reading that book. And the other was Think and Grow Rich, So Bhagavad Gita taught me that we are beyond this body. Essentially, we are a soul. And what is the power of the soul? How it can drive the things. Think and Grow Rich taught me the power of the mind, again, which is connected to the body but beyond body. So Thinking to Rich taught me this fact that we become what we think about. So a man is a sum of his thoughts and choices he makes all the day. So that made an entire difference. And now, as now what I consume on social media is a lot of self-development stuff rather than some silly and erotic stuff on Instagram.
Consuming reels on Instagram.
Yeah,
shorts on YouTube. So yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome.
So I didn't find time for these things. I just replaced some of the things with these. So that's pretty easy.
Interesting. And yeah, actually what you said, a man becomes what he thinks about. And this is mentioned in so many books. If you read Bhagavad Gita, Think and Grow Rich, A Power of Subconscious Mind, any book, this is the common pattern which is mentioned over the law of attraction.
Yeah.
So many books have this thing. This is the root of as to your thoughts becomes your reality, basically. Awesome. So Tarun, now I will be going little into the question which I have been getting from these people who are watching this video on my social medias and all that. So first thing is, people say I want to be consistent in so many things. Maybe मुझे पढ़ाई में consistent चाहिए, मेरे को work में चाहिए, मेरे को अपनी passion follow करने में चाहिए, and not able to sustain that thing. So according to you, कि how can a person be consistent with his efforts?
I guess the first question which can be answered after. So the first question is, I want to be consistent, right? It's in what? Say I want to consistent to be, make my presence in social media, or to be in my studies, or to be in my exercise, that's great. That at least you thought about consistency, at least in some area of your life.
Correct.
But the next question comes, why?
Yeah.
Why it is important for you to be consistent in that area? What is the outcome that you are looking at, right? So what I see, a lot of people do things out of external influence.
Correct.
So or so, inspired by any motivational speaker or some motivational videos,
Right.
which really is a short-lived phenomena. It's kind of, you took the painkiller, now the pain is gone, but the pain is back again.
Right.
So, you need to address it to the roots, and this is where you need to answer that why I am doing this. So, when you constantly ask this question again, why, and you go deeper into yourself, and you find an answer which energizes you towards that, after this clarity, you are, really sorted, I would say, to become consistent. So my first would be to answer your why. The second would be, at the beginning, no one is perfect, and I think in the end, even no one is perfect. It's just a perception of the perfection. So I guess a lot of times, guys, we need to just start. If you see the tagline of Nike, it says just do it. So just do it. It's all action, action, and action. Then a movie is short and kind of. So guys, just don't worry about the perfection. Just try to do it every day, because when you do it every day, you are improving day by day, day by day, and you soon reach a level of, I would say, pretty much satisfaction that you are doing it better and better, and that what sparks your mind, because when you progress, you feel happy, and when you feel happy, you try to do it more. So I suggest that you choose progress over perfection, so then you can be more consistent.
Awesome. Progress over perfection. Sounds great, right? And the second point, like first point I'll say, he was asking me is कि आपका why क्या है? Because until unless you know your why कि you करना क्यों है, तो you just को क्या, ठीक है, मैंने तरुण को देखा, मैंने रोहित की वीडियोस देखे, मैंने किसी मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर की वीडियो देखे, तो I'll just start from tomorrow. But जब तक वो आपके अंदर से नहीं आएगा ना, you won't be able to stay on that for a long period of time. Maybe a week you can stay, maybe a month, but what about after that, right? So everything that it's a habit, right? You want to include it as a part of your life, not for a week or so. Awesome. So thank you, Tarun, for that wonderful answer. Now, recently on my YouTube channel, I recorded a video about how they can be themselves. Because see, it's easy to say कि यार be yourself, but बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जो कि still struggle कि यार what do I mean by be yourself? रहें कैसे हो, और वो है क्या चीज़ आखिर में? So what would you say to those people जो अपने आप को accept नहीं कर पा रहे, like how they are not able to be themselves?
I guess, yeah, as Rohit, you said, the problem is self-acceptance over here. So a lot of times, I remember this line by Charles Cooley. I wish I would have said that, but that's really awesome. He says, I am not who I think I am. I am not who you think I am. I am what I think you think I am.
Okay.
Right? So it means that I am seeing myself as what would be the other person thinking about me. It may not be true, and it may be that, suppose Rohit is thinking about that he's a dumbass, say. Now I am thinking that Rohit is thinking about me as a dumbass, which may Rohit is not thinking. But due to that thought is bothering me that what others are thinking about me. In Hindi it is called सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. I have modified it. सबसे बड़ा रोग मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेंगे लोग. Right? When you fall into this trap, you will never be able to accept yourself. I understand that feedback is important, but feedback should be taken to progress in some areas, not that you are allowing people to judge yourself. Because when you allow people to judge yourself, you always judge yourself, and this becomes a double reflection from the mirror which you are looking at. So you never get a true image of yourself.
Correct.
So I would encourage everyone to just have a 10-15 minutes of time in the morning or whatever time they feel. Just be idle. Just don't think about anything. And when thoughts are coming, just write those thoughts. You will see the pattern of thoughts that is coming to your mind on a daily basis. Now, the question is, since you have all the pattern of thoughts with you, are these thoughts serving you? Is the question. If those thoughts are not serving you, they are not empowering you, they are not helping you to grow, you need to replace them with the thoughts that empower you to grow. Right? So when you change your belief systems, which change your thought patterns, everything around you suddenly starts changing for yourself. Right? So just don't worry about this सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. I think आप लोग ने सबने वो कहानी सुनी होगी, जब एक dad, एक son और एक गधा जो 4 गांव से निकलते हैं, and till the 4 village they are not able to figure out what is right. Just because people were saying something about it. So guys, if you don't have watched that story, go on YouTube and type the story of father, son and the donkey, and you will get what I am saying.
Awesome. And see guys, maybe you need to watch this section of this video, maybe not repeat, because what Tarun just mentioned is really powerful, because it all starts with a thought, and then with a thought you go into self-acceptance, and then you're able to be yourself. And I guess 10 minutes out of 24 hours is not a big time, I guess.
Absolutely. That is that is the least you can give it to yourself.
Correct. Awesome. So my next question, Tarun, is related to this question itself, because I guess what I think is, because there are so many people out there, when I'm talking about being themselves, they have this conditioning. Okay, why me? Why is it happening with me? Why God made me like this? Why am I dark? Why am I fat? Why am I thin? Why am I that? So many thoughts. So basically, kind of a victim state. We are blaming ourselves, we are blaming people, we are blaming our parents, our friends, everyone around us. So how can we come out of that victim state?
Yeah, that's a good question. Guys, what I have seen the pattern on the people who play victim role is, I just want you to remember this, analogy. If you have seen, a machine which excavates the ground, a pit, that is, on it is written JCB. Yeah. So remember what victims do. They justify. J for justification, okay. C for complain, and B for blame. Yeah. So what that JCB is doing is excavating a pit. So when you are in these 3 states, either you are justifying yourself always, or you are complaining others about the situations, about the people, or you are blaming directly to them, you are excavating that pit for yourself, and you are going to be drowned in that pit. Right? So if you want to jump into that pit, jump into the victim role. Most of the people, like, since it was COVID, so it's quite relatable, that they are going to justify themselves that because COVID was there, I couldn't take much actions, I was disturbed, I was this, I was that. Accept it. But what did you do about it? Did you took any action on it? Did you try to change it for yourself in some or other way? Because, COVID shows us both the positive and the negative sides. For many people, it was a blessing. Yeah. So the next comes when you complain about the situations, guys. You see, you are not in the mode of gratitude when you complain. And I have understood one beautiful thing in my life. It is grateful people who are happy, and not the vice versa.
Correct.
Right. So when you play the role of victim, you get out of gratitude, and when you get out of gratitude, you fall into the trap of that this is happening to you only, and you are going to always suffer. So when you are in the suffering mindset, you can not progress.
Correct.
So the reverse of victim roles is a victor's role. When you act like a victor, that whatever comes to you, you choose. Okay, some things you cannot change, but your response can be changed. Like earlier, you used to respond, "Why me?" Okay, accept that. Okay, this is for me. The second questions come. What can I do about it so that this situation changes for me? So you come into the action mode, you come into the victor's mode, not into the victim mode where you're just thinking idle, overthinking about it and doing nothing. So the victor is quite better than victim.
Yeah. And Tarun, I guess अभी तक लोग YouTube के ऊपर JCB को जानते थे JCB खुदाई के नाम से. And I guess after watching this video, people will be thinking, okay, JCB का एक अलग मतलब होता है, justification, complaining and blaming. So if you like this term called JCB, type in the comment box JCB and let it go viral.
Guys, but let not JCB companies sue on me. Yeah?
we are just giving our own definition, our own acronym for that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Tarun, you just talked about overthinking, because हम ये सब चीज करते करते we go in the overthinking stage जहाँ पे हमें पता ही नहीं हम जा कहाँ हैं.
Right.
We are not to find a path. क्या हम सही जा रहे हैं? हमें क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए? So overthinking. Can you share something on that?
Yeah, sure. See, overthinking is an excuse for not making an action, is what I have understood. I have been an overthinker. What overthinking brought me was really a disturbed mind, a disturbed stomach, and a whole disturbed body. Nothing else. It gave me these three gifts, and which I never asked for. So I really now I have returned those gifts, and I said, life, bring me something, which I can think and act. Because if you just think and don't act, you will fall into overthinking mode. Yeah. So I would say when a thought is coming to you, I definitely recommend you to make a plan on it, but not a very detailed plan. If you have even say 50-60% of information that what I can do next, go about it, do it. Because as you do, you experience something, right? And experience is more important than imagination, is what I think. So you are continuously imagining. Imagination to a certain stage is great because it sparks your creative mind. But if you don't do anything about it, then your mind comes into the state of overthinking. You are kind of paralyzed mentally because you are not able to move further. And then what happens at the end, we feel like this is not for me. Yeah, maybe I chose the wrong path. But no, guys, you didn't took any action about it. So how come you know that it was right or wrong? So when we say, walk the talk, it means what you are thinking in your mind when you are speaking through you should act on it also. Otherwise, without action, we have said there is no reaction, but there is no result also. So think about it. If you are, going for delivery of results, you need to deliver action also. So when you are constantly in the mode of action, this overthinking pattern will slowly fade away. That's the most practical experience I can share with you guys.
Yeah. Since you talk about action taking, and because I think everything comes down to that part. Planning कर लिया, thinking कर ली, सब कुछ कर लिया. Now how should I take action? और उस phase के अंदर, and you also talk about being reactive, and which most of the people do. कि कुछ भी हुआ तो इंस्टेंट से एकदम से रिएक्ट कर दिया, which led us to so many bad things, bad situations. So how can one choose, like the person who is watching this video, if you are having this thing, being reactive so much, how can we stop that being reactive कि एकदम से जल्दी से respond ना करें, I mean react ना करें, instead respond.
Right. There's a lot of content you will find on reaction versus response. Guys, I would like to share this with you very practically. That, sometimes people know that this is gonna hit you bad, and, to instigate you so that you react, they do it intentionally. A lot of people do that. You must have experienced in your life. They know this point that this is your weakness, right? And a lot of people do unintentionally also, but it is still the weakness, right? Why I'm calling it a weakness, because it is not under your control, right? So the thing which is not under your control, how you can call it your strength, or how you can be strong in it. So as we discussed, sometimes that incidents happen at maybe workplace, in a personal life. People know that if I say this to him, he's gonna react and blast like anything. Understand, guys, you have lost control over yourself, right? And what is reaction? Basically, you act without thinking. Yeah. And what is the response? You think before you speak. There are two kind of people in this world. दो तरीके के लोग होते हैं. एक सोच के बोलते हैं और एक बोलने के बाद सोचते हैं यार ये मैंने क्या बोल दिया. Right? Don't be the second one, guys. क्योंकि जब आप बोलने के बाद आपने सोचा कि मैंने क्या बोल दिया, the time is gone. Right? It's very hard to correct it then. You need a lot of patience, lot of explanation you give it to people that why you reacted that way, and sometimes they are not even convinced of all the hard efforts you play. Yeah, but I'm not saying that you can be 100% responsive all the time. Sometimes it's since we are humans, that reaction is bound to come. I'm just suggesting you guys to limit it to a certain level so that you are in better control of yourself, in your better control of your emotions, because you are not if you're not in better control of your emotions, understand that our nervous system triggers, unregulated hormones, and which also affect your health. So ultimately, you are not going to affect anyone else. You are going to affect your physical health, your mental health, and a lot of people then go again. That overthinking mode comes, because when you know that the thing you should have not said or you should not have reacted that way has been. You go into that overthinking mode. Sometimes people go into this deep state of depression also. So avoid that loop, overthinking loop later. Rather choose it sooner. Like think a minute. Okay, he said me you are an idiot. Okay, ask yourself, do you really are an idiot? If the answer comes yes, accept it. If the answer comes no, you say, well, buddy, that's your opinion.
Yeah,
I don't accept it. Yeah?
Correct.
And Buddha said, that when you don't accept anything, silence is the best answer. Just move out of there. The person who is trying to instigate you will feel powerless.
Yes.
Because the control is still in your hand, so you are powerful. So that way you can, choose to respond in a way that you really want to, and not the other person controlling you.
Correct. Awesome. Do you guys loving this video so far? Type in the chat or type in the comment section how are you finding the energy, because I'm sure that you are kind of feeling that energy which this person is having. Right. So awesome. And I like to add, Tarun, as what you mentioned, silence is the biggest thing, but if I define silence in terms of taking a pause, I'll share my experience with how I responded. So there was this person whom I was working with, and that person was kind of aggressive on something, and I have so many audio notes from that person, and that was 10 o'clock in the night. I'm listening to those audios, I'm like, this person is aggressive. Now, there was this one side, okay, I can respond in the same way, in the aggressive manner. I took a pause. I know the person has asked me to respond right now, right here, right now, on WhatsApp. I intentionally took a pause of 24 hours. Intentionally took a pause of 24 hours. Because I know, in next 24 hours, the person would be in his back state, in his normal state. He won't be aggressive the way he is right now. And then I kind of responded. And the conversation after that was totally different.
That's so wonderful, Rohit. That reminds me how our mothers, aware of our father's aggression. You guys say, Papa आए तपते हुए, and then you ask something कि Papa इतने पैसे चाहिए, ये लेना है, वो लेना है, and your mom comes like, बेटा अभी नहीं, शांति से बढ़िया सी अदरक वाली चाय बना के देती हूँ, अच्छा खाना खिलाती हूँ, जब ठंडा हो जाएगा दिमाग तब हम बात करें. You see, that's the best thing you can learn from your mothers. They have this intrinsic ability, like let the situation be under control, as Rohit did, very wonderfully, and then responded so that what you're really seeking from that person gets done. Or either you guard yourself from that aggression, because अगर आपने भी उसी aggressive state में आप चले गए, guys, एक तो सबसे पहली चीज दोनों में कोई फर्क नहीं रहेगा, and second thing, you just lost yourself.
Correct.
क्योंकि you were not looking for this kind of conversation. You were looking for a kind of conversation जो एक positive note पे end, some positive outcome it can bring. So always think before you react, what is going to be the consequence? Because our entire world works on the law of cause and effect. Something is a reason, then something is an effect. So what would be its effect? Like in that case which Rohit said, if Rohit would have responded very aggressively, what could have been the effect? But he thought, he took a pause, and then he reacted after 24 hours, which made all the difference.
Correct.
So this is how it powerful is. Thank you so much, Rohit, for sharing that.
Thank you so much, Tarun, for bringing that, because again, taking a pause, it's like take a pause. Every time we are kind of speaking, भाई हमें आंसर देना किसी चीज का. Is it really required? And जैसा तरुण ने कहा कि ask yourself that question, are you really that person? अगर किसी ने कुछ कहा कि यार तू तो पागल, are you really पागल? Are you really mad? You are not, right? So ask that question. Have that ability that you can shift from being reactive to responsive. You can change as to where you are being reactive and how you can be responsive, right? So thank you so much, Tarun, and I'll end this podcast, this episode with you on this last question that I have. I'm sure you are having this question as well. How can we stay happy all the time? Because right now the energy is so much, right? I can feel this energy, and you can also feel that same energy. How are you so happy?
Well, that was a nice question, Rohit. Rohit just asked that, how I'm feeling happy now, how can we feel happy all the time? Guys, first of all, it's a myth that we can happy all the time. There are lows and ups, I remember this line by Ratan Tata, when he says, when you do an ECG of your heart, it's like wave of, sine, up and down, up and down. He says, when the straight line is there, you are dead. You must have seen in the movies, कि वो बंदा मरा और पहला फोकस उस पे जाता था ईसीजी ग्राम पे, वो लाइन स्ट्रेट हो गई है, एंड दिस इज हाउ ऑडियंस को पता चलता था कि ये मर गया है. नहीं तो तब तक तो लाइक उसका जो रिलेटिव है वो रो रहा है, वी डोंट नो ही इज डेड और अलाइव, बट वो स्ट्रेट लाइन से. So it's never straight, it's up and down and up and down. That's how you enjoy. Otherwise, if it's always happy, you feel bored, really. Yeah. The second thing is how you can be happy, most of the times, or say, whatever amount of time you're looking at. So I see the secret of happiness is when you're out there to serve. Like Rohit asked me, how are you feeling so happy? Because, guys, I got this opportunity to add little value to yourself. So you guys like sharing my experience, whatever books I studied, whatever experience I got in my life. So I was really feeling happy about it. So that's why you can see the energy around me and Rohit now to the a level of happiness that we are experiencing now. So when you are out there to serve, you are happy because sometimes you face challenges while you are serving, but still you feel happy because you know you are doing the right thing. This is meaningful and this is gonna fulfill you. So when you feel that you are doing something meaningful and a kind of a feeling of fulfillment starts going to your heart, you start feeling happy. Yeah, we guys, I have seen this tagline into the lot t-shirts and bikes that we are born to rule. Cut that crap. We are all born to serve. Nobody is born to rule. If you see who are trying to rule, whatever is happening around the world is utter shit. Yeah, because of this feeling that they are born to rule. If you see we are born to serve, like if you see the politicians comes to your door and say vote me because I am going to do this work. So he is selling his service to you. And in this way he is going to serve you. A soldier feels happy and energized because he's serving his nation. A doctor feels happy and energized when he's serving his patient, right? Like Rohit is a life coach, he's feeling energized and happy when he's serving his clients. So we are all happy when we are out there to serve. When we are out there to rule, we always feel insecure. We never feel happy. That happiness is for just a moment. Yeah. So guys, just think, in this human life, who do you want to serve? Like a mother serves her child so unconditionally. That's why we feel happy with our families, because they are always serving us in some or other way, and we are also serving them in one or other way. So if you are looking for happiness, just answer this question for yourself. Who do you want to serve? When you are figured out with this and you go out and you do that service, happiness is the outcome which is gonna come out of that. Happiness is not a destination. It is an outcome out of the service which you have rendered to a certain person or certain group of persons, right? So just don't fall into the trap of how can I feel happy without doing nothing. No, you have to go out and you have to serve. Then only you will feel happy. This is my take on it. So guys, go about it. Answer this question for yourself.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tarun, for giving me your time and sharing all this wisdom that you had after reading so many books. And I'm really grateful to you. Thank you so much, Tarun.
I'm grateful to you, Rohit, for bringing me in, and thank you guys that you are spending your valuable time in listening to us and allowing us to serve you. In case you have certain more questions, you can type in the comment box. Reach out to Rohit. Rohit has wonderful folks in his connections who can bring you out answers. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to us patiently and allowing us to serve.
Thank you so much, Tarun. And I'll definitely bring you up on some more time. If you guys want Tarun to be back with your questions, answering your questions, type in all the questions in the comment box and also type in we want Tarun back. We want Tarun back, right? So thank you so much for watching this video, listening to this podcast. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay blessed, stay awesome, and be proud to be a lifelong learner. Thank you so much.